Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. My assistant has informed me that at the beginning of every Sweat Club class, I have to tell people to come on a retreat with me. I have retreats all over the world: Puerto Rico, Mallorca, the United States. She said I'm missing an opportunity. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, please like and subscribe. That really matters to our algorithm, and I super appreciate it. Okay, now that I did the thing, she's gonna be so happy. We are going to get started. Come to your mat. And today we will start fully reclined as per usual. I think I do this a lot because I love it. So come all the way down to your back. And then a few different options. If you have a block at home, you could start with a block under the low back. You could put a pillow under the low back, just starting in a gentle back bend, our supported bridge. If that's not an option for you, you could also take your feet together and your knees wide. For me, this is a massive stretch on the hips to begin with. So I like to take my fists and then put them kind of just right under my butt. And then you'll notice when the legs widen, the fists kind of stop them, depending how high you put the fists up. Prevents the legs from fully opening. If you have two blocks, option to take two blocks on the outside of the legs too. Last but not least, you're also welcome to start in Shavasana, whatever makes you happy, right? So pick your position, shut your eyes, let your body relax down to the mat. And then depending what time zone you're in, what time of the day it is, if you've had some caffeine, I would like you to drop down from the stratosphere into your body. So just feel yourself kind of drop back into relaxation, almost like you're laying in bed first time today. On your next inhale, draw your breath deep into your low abdomen. And then after your belly rises, try to draw more air into the lungs until your collarbones expand, the chest starts to rise up. Exhale, let the chest fall, and then the belly empties. We'll take this again. Inhale. First, expand, low abdomen. And then naturally, when you take those extra sips of air at the top, right, you can kind of feel your collarbones expand. And then exhale, chest falls, belly empties. So just trying to encourage that diaphragm to fill up as much as possible. Inhale. Belly rises, and then sip extra air till you feel the collarbones rise up. Lungs super expansive. Exhale. Empty. Take 3 more like this. Really encouraging that expansion with every breath in. And then after 3 rounds, start to smooth that out. So you might have noticed it's like a little bumpy right on the top as we're inhaling. Now just take big, slow inhales and exhales of the same length out the nose. Maybe Ujjayi breath, constricting the back of the throat. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back to the breath. Breath is yoga, right? You could lay here and breathe the whole class and you're doing it. During today's class, you will get the opportunity to truly observe your emotions. What do I mean by that? I mean, we are going to move into longer holds, a little bit longer than normal. And as you do this, you might notice that certain things start to come up, right? In yoga, you've probably heard teachers say, oh, you store emotions in the hips or you store XYZ here. Whether or not that is true, what I've found is that when you are faced with challenge or pressure, emotions start to come up. And they could be good. Maybe you feel joy. You're like, yeah, let's get it. Or maybe you feel anger. I felt that for a long time when I didn't express my anger enough. Sadness. So, whatever starts to come up, just listen to the inner dialogue we have during class. Listen to what your body and your mind do when they're put under a little bit of pressure. And these aren't going to be showy poses, nothing too crazy, but just longer holds. And anytime we are forced to sit still, it can be a little challenging. So, inhale deeply. And then exhale, bring your hands down by your sides if they aren't already. Press your palms down into the mat, roll your shoulders back. On your next breath in, depending where you are, we will meet in the bridge prep pose. So if you've got a block on your low back, lift your back up or move the block. Knees wide, bring them together. Shavasana, come on up. So feet hip width distance apart. And then inhale, press your palms into the mat, roll your shoulders back, lift your hips up, bridge. Now, first one of class, so take it easy, right? Just think about lengthening the hip flexors up to the sky, heart up to the ceiling, maybe even the chest kind of imagining it's coming up and over your head. And then exhale, walk the spine down the mat, one vertebra at a time, starting from the top. We are all going to move at different speeds on this, which is actually very typical in a yoga class. A lot of times everyone will be doing something different. So once your hips go to the ground, you'll take a full breath in and then inhale, you'll lift your hips up again and then walk the spine down the mat. So just continue with this motion. We'll do it about 4 or 5 times at your speed. And the goal is really to find that mind-body connection, right? How often do we ask our vertebra to move independently of one another, right? Focusing, okay, one by one as you make that journey. Keep going and notice if your palms have started to lift off the mat. Push the fingers down into the mat. Keep that lock of the fingertips. Not done yet, so keep going. Almost there. If you've finished your 5 and you are done, you could be different than me. You might be waiting at the bottom with your knees together. Just take a few breaths. And then we'll meet sacrum on the ground. If you're not there yet, that's fine. If you are there, windshield your wiper your legs left and right. Just allow the hips to open a little bit, kind of relax through the low back, side to side. And then we'll meet back in center, find your bridge prep once more. But instead of lifting the hips up off the mat, you'll inhale your right foot up to the ceiling, curl the toes back towards your face. Push your low back into the mat. So a little bit different than what we did before. Option to even briefly lift the chest, lift the fingers forward, but you don't have to do this. This is more about just like, what is your body calling for, right? You can do the exact same thing from here. Breath in and out. Option to stay and work on pushing the low back in, then trying to reach the toe up towards your forehead, above your head. Or option 2, press the hands really firm, roll the shoulders back, inhale, lift the hips high. So single-legged bridge, essentially, right? You might stay, or maybe you try walking the vertebra down the mat one at a time. And it's okay. I notice every time I'm like, oh, I can't really get as high in this version with the one leg, right? But thinking about creating that control, see how much you can lift. And then that slow, mindful walk while keeping the palms connected. If you come out, come on back in, kick it out, totally fine. Lift back up again. Let's take one more. Walk the spine down the mat, slow and controlled. Should start to feel that left butt cheek a little bit. And release the hips down to the mat. Right foot comes down. Take a breath in. and out. All right, inhale, push the low back into the mat, lift the left foot up. So remember, option one is to stay here. Look at your toes. They should be curling back towards your shin. Push through your heel, even if the leg is slightly bent. Work to straighten it, and then think about how close you can get it to your forehead, right? You're trying to bring your shin towards your forehead and stay there. Option to work on this just with the strength of your own body, or inhale, lift the hips high, single-legged bridge, weight on the right side. And then exhale, one vertebra at a time. Release at the bottom, and then you'll inhale, lift up again. Maybe you can get a little higher the second time, huh? Find that curiosity. And then you'll lower. Try to ignore anything you feel in that right leg and bring the awareness only into the spine. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Keep the legs straight if you can, and then exhale, lower. One vertebra at a time. Release the hips down to the ground. Release the foot down to the ground. Breath in. And out. All right, we'll roll up to a seat. If you have any spinal issues, you're welcome to just roll to a side and come up to a seat. Otherwise, today, instead of grabbing behind the thighs like we normally do, try to do it without grabbing the thighs. So you kind of need a little bit more momentum, right? But the hands will still continue reaching forward. We're going to do this about 5 times. If you tip over, don't forget to laugh. It's silly. This is supposed to be silly, supposed to be fun. One more. And then come on up, make your way into Navasana, hands behind your thighs, point your toes, roll your shoulders back. Breath in. Option to release the hands if you haven't already. Breath out. Okay, so this is the first opportunity where we're going to observe what comes up in the body when you are forced with a longer hold. It's funny because I had this idea and I was like, oh, I'm going to teach this. And then I didn't realize that I have to do it with you because I'm on camera. So we're in this together, right? I'm doing it with you. Observe the sensations. Observe what comes up in the mind when you are asked to hold a longer Navasana. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Stay here. You can do it. Breath in. And out. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, feet come to the ground. Wrap your hands around your shins. Forehead comes towards the knees. Just like you're giving yourself a little hug, right? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift your head up. Reach your legs out in front of you a little bit longer and then clasp your hands at heart center. So those of you who have been in class a lot, you know what we're working on. We're coming to tabletop without using our hands. So find a way to come to tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, right? Without using your hands. I will demo the easiest way, which is to drop the knees to one side, roll onto the knees and press up into tabletop. But there are so many different options and I encourage you to try them at home, maybe off screen, right? Another time when I'm not here. See how many you can find. Even if it's only one, we're going to work on finding one, working on one, and then moving up. So tabletop pose, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And now let's just take free movement of the spine. So close your eyes. I'm going to do barrel rolls side to side first because that's what my body's asking for. Maybe you want to do cat and cow first. Just start to move your spine in kind of any way you can think while keeping both hands, both knees on the ground. If you haven't, go through either barrel rolls or cat and cow, whatever you might be missing. Take one more round, even out whatever you're working on. And then come back to center. Inhale, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, gaze high, cow pose. Now, in cow, we kind of relax our stomach down to the ground a little bit, right? But even though we're relaxing, now try to, without moving your hands and knees, so don't move them, but try to pull them towards one another. You should feel a slight engagement in the core, even though we're in the back bend. If you feel it in the back, that's fine too. We're about to feel it a lot more as you take a breath in. And then exhale, round into cat pose. Now pull your hands towards your knees. You should ideally immediately be like, whoa, I'm shaking. Yep. Pull a little bit harder, a little bit harder. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Inhale, back to center, even spine. Exhale, walk your hands one handprint forward. And before we come down, look at the placement of your hands. So I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Your pointer fingers should be pointing forward, not your middle fingers. So turn your hands slightly out to the right side, pointer fingers point forward, then rock your weight forward so your wrists are over, or your shoulders are over your wrists, and lower down nice and easy to your belly. 3, 2, strong arms, and 1. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift your hands. Exhale, stay. So just warming up all these back muscles, right? Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, stay. All right, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower the forehead down to the mat. Breath in and out. Inhale, lift yourself up again. This time, put a little weight in your hands. So you're welcome to come closer to like a full cobra, shoulders back, elbows back, right? But be careful with how high you go because I'm about to cue us through a little bit of a power move. That's what it is. Take a breath in, hold your breath, brace, and then lift your hands and try not to move. Yep, try to stay where you are while you lift your hands. Chances are you're going to drop down to the ground. That's fine. We're just squeezing. 3, 2, and 1. Release the forehead down to the mat. Breath in. One day those two will be the same. Breath out. All right, curl your toes under, elbows back, push up slow to tabletop pose. So nice and easy. And then up and back, downward facing dog, reach the hips high. Inhale. Exhale. Option to move, option to stay still. Push the hands into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. As a reminder, if at any point in class down dog doesn't serve you, you can always move from tabletop pose. One more, breath in and out. Inhale, look forward. And then walk nice and easy, one toe print at a time to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, chair pose. All right, first chair pose of class. This is gonna be the longest hold of chair pose of class. So you know that already. It's happening right away. We're gonna get it over with. Sink low, hug your legs into the midline today. So some days I cue out, some days I cue in. Why? Because we want balance. If you have a block, you could even put it between your thighs, squeeze it in to make sure it's there, right? Then inhale your hands high if they aren't already. Sit your butt nice and deep. Now, I'm going to cue breath. Just observe the sensations, the thoughts that come up as we hold this posture. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Don't let yourself creep up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can do it. Breath in and out. Once more. Here it is. Inhale. Exhale. Come to standing, hands by your sides. Tadasana. Close your eyes. Observe. What sensations came up? What emotions and thoughts? Typically, a very common one is how much longer are we going to do this for? All emotions are good emotions, right? Just allowing them to rise to the surface, be the witness to what happens during our practice. Inhale, sweep your hands high, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, one more time. Rock your weight towards your toes. Maybe take a gentle bend in your knees. And then exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Right away, inhale your right leg high. Reminder, if down dog doesn't work, you're gonna hold here with your right leg high. Exhale, stay. Inhale, think about internally rotating the thigh. So if you can, look back towards your right thigh, roll the thigh in. Look at it rolling into the pelvis and then try to lift the foot. This keeps our hips closed, right? This is just another cue for closed hips. I find dancers often roll it out, right? I'm talking because this is a long hold. Once more. Keep pushing the hands into the mat. Breath in. Exhale, kick your foot to your butt and open your hip to the side, but keep your shoulders as they are. Imagine upper body and down dog, lower body twisting. Breath in and out. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, take your right knee to your right elbow and then draw it to the inside of the elbow. So swing that knee over so it's into the inside. Externally rotate the thigh so the thigh will roll out, and then place the foot on the ground, knee on the ground, coming to pigeon pose. So pigeon pose has a lot of options. You might want a blanket under the right butt cheek. However, today we are not going to fold and hang out like is comfy in most yoga classes. Instead, we're going to lift up. So you could have two blocks here to support you. Otherwise, try to pull your right hip back in space, your left hip forward. So pull them and then think about lifting out of pigeon. So if you look at me, I've got about this much space between my pelvis and the floor. If this doesn't work for you, you could hold here, hands forward, leaning forward slightly. But ideally, think about drawing up, lifting up, squeezing the pelvis up, and then hands reach high. Maybe press the palms together, open the throat, and look at your thumbs. Now, no matter what version of this posture you're doing, pull your pelvic floor in and up. So the pelvic floor lifts in as you reach and extend. If you are with me in this kind of heightened state, stay, pull the right hip back more, left hip forward more. You should really feel the right glute as you hold. 3, 2, 1. Breath in. Exhale, we'll all come down to the ground. Scoot the hip back, palms down, firm on the mat. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee up, and then try to lift the entire front of the leg up so it's rotated. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out side to side. Once more, the option to be in tabletop, shifting left and right. All right, that was a long hold on one side, so let's get the other side over with, right? Inhale, left leg high. Okay, so if you watch me, I'm going to look at my leg and then internally rotate. You probably can't watch because you're in down dog. That's fine. Look at your own leg. Internally rotate. The thigh will roll in towards the pelvis. Push into your hands. Breath in. Sink your right heel down. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, kick your foot to your butt, open your hip, keep your left shoulder down and dropping. Think about rotating your biceps in towards your ears, and then you push into the hands for a little bit more strength. Hold. 3. Breath in. 2. And 1. Inhale, straighten the leg, close the hip. Internal rotation in the thigh. Exhale, take your left knee to the inside of your left elbow. Externally rotate, place the foot down. Shimmy back, coming to our pigeon pose. So this is nice and all. I know it's so good to stay down here. Maybe you've got something under your butt to prop you up. And if you were to look at me, I'm going to turn this way just so you can see in pigeon. So many teachers will teach 90-degree, trying to keep your leg. That's impossible. We can do that in figure 4, not in pigeon. So zip the foot in a little bit. And then it's a little bit easier, more accessible, right, to be in your pigeon pose. Now with that foot zipped in, left hip back, right hip forward, lift up and out of the space. So see how high you can lift, hands can come forward. Then maybe up. Maybe press the palms, open the throat, look high. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, option to stay low, hands on the ground. Breath in. And out. Once more, inhale. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Shimmy the hips back. Curl the back toe under. Lift the back knee up. And then, bring the leg with you as you push up and back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk your way to the top of the mat. And then fold into Uttanasana. Head is heavy. Take your feet hip width distance apart, and let's actually go for ragdoll, sway side to side. So one of the things I'm going to employ today is we will do still strong movements, and then we'll just do a little bit of flow. The idea is to whatever emotions are coming up, as we flow and breathe, we release the emotions that have been bothering us, or maybe even share the joy that we have to share with people, whatever came up in class. Hands come down to the mat. Toe heel your feet together to touch, sliver space between the heels. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. No, we are not going to be here for 10 years. Exhale, come to standing, hands by your sides. Great. Like I said, a little rhythm, a little flow. Try to stay with me. The breath will be a bit faster. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, take your right knee to your right tricep. Option to skip these. Inhale, right leg back or high. Maybe you stay in plank. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Try and lean, step through, low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose. Back heel off the mat, reach the hands high. Okay, right hip back, left hip forward, sink down. Inhale. Exhale. Now, option to stay like this in the torso. If this feels like enough, that's fine. You'll notice we're all naturally in a little bit of a back bend in this pose. I'm going to see if you would like to take it a little bit deeper. You can think about pulling and pushing your chest forward. So instead of bending back, you're actually puffing your chest and belly forward to the front of the room, arching the upper spine, and then you might just reach the hands up and you're just in a bit more of a back bend, right? It's nothing too aggressive. Just a little stretch through the pecs, those muscles on the front of our chest. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two, over to the left. Oh, yep, sink it down. Find your warrior two. All right, gaze off your front hand, straight through your back leg. Bend into your front knee. We are all in this together. Strong arms. Now notice what sensations, what thoughts come up as I ask you to hold. Fight the urge to come out of the pose. Imagine you are just a statue, a warrior, right? And I really do think if you gaze off the front of your hand and you say, okay, yeah, I'm fierce, like make your toughest face. I can't see you. Your cameras are too far away. So you can make whatever face you want, but make your tough face, hold a bit longer, strong in that front leg. If you're like, Madison, this is just too easy, try pulling your feet towards one another. I'm not doing that because that's insane, but you can, and you'll really feel it. Hold and breathe. You're almost there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I know. Once more, breath in and out. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Drop the hands down. Take a moment. Now, wiggle your back foot in slightly, just a little tiny bit, and we'll come to Trikonasana. Bump the back hip back, reach your right hand forward. Hand can come to hover on the inside of this leg somewhere. Roll your belly up and out. So think about rolling to the left side as you reach the left hand up. We won't be here very long, so you don't have to have the thoughts yet. Just stretching out, opening, breath in. Exhale, bend into the front knee, warrior two. Now, fluid, inhale, straighten the leg, Trikonasana. Exhale, bend, warrior two. Let's take that again. Inhale, straighten, just a little dance. Don't worry too much about form here. Exhale, warrior two. Allow it to be that fluid movement you need. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Changing it up. Inhale, reverse your warrior backhand drops. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Once more. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, big movement. Sweep your hands down to the inside of the foot. Wiggle the right foot out to the side. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Bring the back knee down. Nice lizardy lunge. Breath in. And out. All right. Option to stay here. You might need to roll up your mat if you have anything on the back knee that feels like it hurts. You could take a blanket or a pillow under the back knee. So you can stay, or try to bend into the back knee. Your weight should be above the kneecap. So my weight is kind of on that muscly, fleshy part right above the kneecap. Bend, 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 and then try to get your foot towards your butt as much as you can. Yes, your hamstring may cramp. No, you don't need to come out. Or yes, you don't need, no, you don't need to come out. You get it. You get what I'm saying. Squeeze in. You're almost there. 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2. A little bit more. 1. Breath in. Exhale. Release. All right. Round through the upper spine. Curl the back toe under. Lift up. Option 1, step to down dog. Option 2, take your knee to your tricep. Maybe lift your foot first. Step up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. All right, inhale your left leg high. This is where we move a little bit quicker. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Option to skip these. Oh yeah, we did these in plank, didn't we? Option to take them in plank too. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, lean, step through, low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose, and we stay. So crescent is really a journey, right? If you feel wobbly, check down and make sure your feet are on railroad tracks rather than on a tightrope, right? They should be nice and separate. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward, sink down. Then inhale your hands high. Now, a few different options. Option 1, you are just going to hold crescent, strong balance. Option 2, you might start to push your chest and stomach forward, pushing, 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 which will bring you into a bit more of a natural back bend for today's class, biceps by the ears. Maybe press the palms, open the throat, look back, stay deep in that front knee. Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. Exhale back to center. Take the bend out of the spine, neutral-ish, like if you have one. Exhale, warrior two. Spin the back heel down. Okay. Set up for warrior two. Notice, because you know, right? You already know this is a long hold. So any snap judgments, any snap emotions you might have had, I went, oh man, like I'm with you, team. Bend in that knee, reach the hands long, gaze off your front hand. This is where you create the tough face, right? Your warrior face. As you extend, stay low in the front leg. I'll even get lower just so you know you're not alone. My top thigh is already tingling. So if yours is too, fantastic. We're doing it. Breath in. And out. Inhale.
Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. If you're creeping up, come back down with me. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Notice the thoughts. Exhale. Notice the emotions. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale, straighten that leg. Take a second, drop the arms. Wiggle the back foot in slightly. Push your right hip backwards. Boop, 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 and come to Trikonasana. Reach the hand down somewhere on the leg. Then take your right hand. Think about rotating the torso open. Big stretch. As you reach and extend the hand from there, looking up at your top hand. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale, bend in the front knee, warrior two. Remember, this is just where we move easy. Feel free to have even like wiggly arms. Exhale, Trikonasana. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten, Trikonasana. Again, inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, Trikonasana. Inhale up, warrior two. And then exhale, reverse the warrior. Back hand drops, front hand comes high. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Might have switched the breath there, I'm not sure. Exhale, warrior two. All right, last time, reverse. And then exhale, sweep the hands down to the inside of the foot, wiggle the foot out to the side, lower the back knee down. Big stretch in that hip. Maybe move right, left, right. Kind of push that hip down to the ground gently, right? Because there's a big stretch in the hip flexor. And then bring your foot up towards your butt, squeeze it in. Breath in, squeeze. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release the foot down. Curl your back toe under. Lift your back knee up. Push up and back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale, come forward, tabletop. Exhale, make your way to child's pose. Reach the hands forward, butt back. Take 5 slow breaths. Notice thoughts that come up now. We've been in silence as well. After all the strength, breath in. Exhale. Inhale, come forward and up, tabletop pose. Walk your hands a little bit in front of your wrists. Option 1, you can do this with the knees down. Option 2, you might come up to plank pose and we'll lower nice and slow. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. No hands. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, and then slide your hands forward. Come to Sphinx pose, palms on the ground. Draw your chest through your biceps. So roll the shoulders back. Think about pulling the chest through. Push the tops of the feet into the mat. Maybe shut your eyes, gaze at your third eye. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale. And then exhale, lower, slide your hands by your side, hug these up, the elbows in, curl your toes under. Maybe if you're doing a push-up, lift your thighs up first, push up to plank, exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel however you like to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, chair pose, sweep the hands high. Exhale, come to standing, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Hands come to the hips, shift your weight over into your right leg. Inhale your left knee up into your chest. And then externally rotate. So make sure the knee doesn't go out to the side, the knee doesn't come in, it stays in line. It's just the rotation of the hip. So find the external rotation, flex the foot and hold, finding the balance. You could stay here, work on balancing, work on rotation, or start to bend into the right knee and come to a figure four in the legs. Figure four stretch. You can see I'm making a cool four. Sit your butt back any amount. Push your left knee down. Push your left ankle into the top of your thigh. Push your butt back until you get a good stretch on that left butt cheek. I care more about literally just the butt cheek. So focus the awareness in that hip, right? That whole outer side of your glute. Try to get a good stretch. The attachment point of your hamstring. 3, 2, and then 1. Inhale, press up, come out the same way you came back, whatever I said, came in. Draw the knee into the chest, don't give up on me yet. And then exhale, hold the foot, straighten the leg. 3, 2, scream internally. 1, and release. Feet together, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Breath in. And out. Shift your weight into your left leg. Right knee comes up. Same concept. So first find your balance, then externally rotate. Like you're turning a doorknob, right? Turning, using everything you've got to get a little bit deeper into that hip. Option to stay, work on your balance, or bring the ankle to the top above the knee, right? And make your 4. Press your knee out, your right knee comes out to the side, right ankle into the knee, sit the butt deep, sit, until you can find a stretch. For me, I'm trying to think about the best way. Best way to find the stretch for me is to pull the right hip back slightly. So maybe try and shift the hip backwards. See if that can deepen the stretch for you. If you come out, come on back in. Notice the thoughts that come up when you fall, right? This is part of it too. What happens when you feel wobbly? What happens when you feel a little bit like you're not in control? Hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up, lift up, draw the knee up. Finishing move, straighten the leg and hold. 3, 2, squeeze, and 1. Release. Feet by each other. Feet side to side, hands by your sides. Close your eyes. Breath in. And out. Inhale, sweep the hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Let's do one more of these. Plank pose or knees up or knees down. We'll lower. 3, 2, 1. Untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, maybe a little bit more in the cobra. Some weight in the hands, shoulders back, elbows back. Exhale, lower. Once more. Push into the hands, roll back. Option to take an up dog if that feels okay with you, or just stick with me. Exhale, when you're ready, you'll lower down to the mat. Curl your toes under. Option to try to lift the thighs first, belly in, push up, plank, or tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale your right leg high.
Exhale, kick your foot to your butt, open your hip. Option to flip your dog here. If you know what I'm talking about, you can go into it. Most of us are going to stay with the foot to the butt, opening and pressing into the hands. Flipping your dog, the right foot will come down, open the chest and the heart to the ceiling, flip. Remember, it's not about what you can do, but what your body is asking for. So hold for one more breath. If your dog is flipped, you're going to come back around, and then we'll all meet. Inhale, legs straight. Exhale, right knee inside of the right elbow. And then externally rotate, come down, pigeon pose. Untuck the back toe. Okay, so round two, we're building towards our peak pose essentially. This is pretty much it. So I'm going to give so many different things to work on today. Option one, if you're like, yep, Madison, that's enough, fold down and in. If even pigeon is too much for you, you're welcome to bend into the left knee, come to a figure four. Right shin parallel with the top of the mat, left knee parallel with the back, and you'll fold over the knee. If you're in pigeon, maybe stay here. Option to lift up, right hip back, left hip forward, just like we did before. Hands might come high. If that feels okay, you'll keep squeezing up as you lift up. Push the chest forward, heart rolls back, right? Lifting up and extending. Option to bend into the back knee, maybe reach back with the hand, bring it to the crux of the elbow and hold. Stretching, looking forward a little bit. It's another nice option. Option to go full mermaid. I think this is close to full. Pull the left elbow forward, gaze forward. So like I said, there's so many different ways to build. Every little move is a building block to the next step, and there are endless steps. There's always somewhere to go, guys. So pick your version if you're not already there, and just start to sit with it. When you can find stillness in whatever you have chosen, I would like you to stay for 5 breaths. Close your eyes if you're down low. If you're up high, find your drishti, your focus, and stay. Deep, steady breaths. Slow the heart, slow the mind. If you're meeting resistance, breathe through it. If you are in the full version of the posture, release the foot slowly with control to come out. Sweep the hands down. If you are leaning forward, push yourself up, and we will all meet in this position. Curl your back toe under, lift your back knee up, push into your hands, round and press up and back, downward facing dog. Chances are you might feel like you have 2 different legs. I sure do. Maybe pedal out through one and the other. We've got one more hold here. Inhale your left leg high. And then exhale, bend in the knee, kick your foot to your butt, open your hip. So remember, the option is to stay opening the hip. Or if it's in your practice, you could roll, flip, bring the back foot down to the mat, lift up, heart high, flipping your dog. You can stay there for a few breaths. The rest of us will keep the bend in the knee, foot to the butt, press into the hands. Breath in. And out. If your dog is flipped, come on back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the leg, close the hip. Exhale, take the knee to the inside of the elbow. Externally rotate the thigh, bring the knee down, the foot down, scoot the hip back. Pigeon pose, opposite side. So, option to surrender into the posture to stretch, folding down. Option to stay up. If you are up, think about the weight being evenly distributed through both the left and the right side. So it's easy to sink into this right hip. Try to stay in the midline. So we're getting a stretch on both the right hip flexor and the left glute. Option to bend into the back knee. Maybe you even just stay and find that hamstring work here. Or you could reach up and back with your right hand, pull the foot in. You could just hold by pulling on the hand, stay there. Could bring the foot towards the armpit of the elbow pit, I guess we call it. Maybe lift your opposite hand, coming into mermaid. And if you fall out like I did, just come on back in because we've got 5 breaths. So find your focus, your center. Let yourself sit with whatever comes up, see, and breathe.
Couple more breaths, you're almost there. Inhale. Exhale. If you are up and back, maybe you release with control, right? Control the foot on the way down. If you're down, push into your hands, lift up. We'll all bring our hands to the mat. Curl your back, toes under, lift the knee up, and then push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward, tabletop pose. Then untuck the toes, bring your butt back towards your heels, hand comes to heart center. You are going to find a seat, trying to, without your hands. So once more, easiest way, try to push the butt down. And even if you've got to use a hand to help you, try to barely use the hand to help you, right? Slide the butt back, feet forward. There are countless options. I hope as we continue to do this every Sunday, you start trying to find your own ways to do it, right? Because there are like so many ways. Okay, feet forward, extend them out in front of you. Flex the toes back towards your face, hands come forward. Pull the belly in, round through the spine, and then lower down one vertebra at a time. Boop, boop, boop. Make your way nice and slow. No rush. Down to the mat with control. My feet lifted at the bottom. Try to keep yours glued, unlike me. It's just so easy to lift, and then reach the hands above the head once you're there. Stretch left, stretch right, breath in. And out. Inhale, draw one knee towards the chest and then the other, no hands. Bring your knees to 90 degrees and then bring your arms to a T. Palms will face down. Breath in. And then take your knees over to the left side, twist to the left, gaze to the right. Relax your right shoulder down to the mat. So imagine I'm standing just above you and I'm just pushing the shoulders down into the mat, encouraging them to relax. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. Push into the hands. Inhale strong up to center. Exhale over to the right side. Gaze might switch over to the left. And then same thing, calibrate by relaxing the left shoulder down to the mat. Relax the right shoulder, relax the head. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Push into your hands. Inhale, come back up to center and then even out the hips, wiggle them side to side. Exhale, come to a happy baby. So happy baby, a reminder, you reach through the inside of the knees for the outside of either the ankles, the calves, or the feet, rather than the inside. What this does is this allows our shoulders to go down and back, and then you can pull your knees out to the sides of your body. So make it a really wide child's pose, right? If you have your knees in on the inside of your arms, you can't really go anywhere because they push into your chest, right? So we need the knees to be out to the sides of the torso so that they can come down. And then rock around for a little bit. Breath in. Exhale, draw the knees back into center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Squeeze in. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Create like a little ball with your body. Give yourself a hug. Breath in. And then exhale, extend, release, send the legs long, send the palms face up, come into your Shavasana. Maybe gently lift your upper back up and tuck your shoulder blades under so you feel the back of your neck get longer. And then wiggle the feet to make sure your legs are relaxed. Sometimes we're clenching, wiggle the hips, wiggle the hands and arms, even wiggle the head a little bit. With your eyes closed.
Allow yourself to come into a state of relaxation and being aware that sometimes when we slow down, that's when the feelings and emotions come up as well. So in Shavasana, if you feel anything, just allow yourself to recognize it, witness it. Motion and emotion are one and the same when it comes to this final posture. Breath in. And out. Close your mouth. Shavasana. If you would like to stay in Shavasana, please just shut this video off. Stay for at least 5 more minutes. But if you are ready to move on with your day, come back to the present. You can begin by inviting movement into your fingers and into your toes. And then gradually allow the movement to get larger. Maybe rock your head side to side. Open your mouth. Wiggle your jaw, wrinkle your nose. And then reach your hands above your head. Take a morning stretch, left and right. And then eventually draw one knee towards the chest and then the other. Roll over onto your favorite side in fetal pose, our posture of rebirth and renewal. A new you moving out of your practice and into your day. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seat facing any direction. And bring 2 hands together at heart center, palms touch, or either 2 hands over the heart. That works as well. And then inhale your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, slide them down your back, sit nice and tall.
Inhale. Exhale, bow your chin in gratitude. Take one more moment to sit with your body, with your mind. Breath in and out. Inhale, lift your head back up. Open your eyes. Get reacquainted with the space around you. Thank you all. Fantastic work. Great job. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to send me an email or a message and tell me how you felt, I would love to hear what you encountered, what the experience was like. I think it's different for everyone, right? Those long holds can be so interesting. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic week ahead of you. Thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Madison.